everyone, it's Jack's Girl, and I have some stitching stuff to share with you guys. So I have a tutorial, and I'll get to that in a moment. I went to the thrift store because it's Monday, and on Monday all their books are half price, which makes all their books 25 cents, which is unbelievable, right? But it's half price, and some of their books, their crafting books, can range in all kinds of prices. So I went to go see what they had, and they didn't have anything that interested me, but they did have these. So I'll show you this in a moment, but this is the book I did get. I love history books, and this is by Stephen Ambrose. He was a professor, and he taught history. And then during his breaks from school, he would pack up his family in a station wagon and drive all over America to show his children where battles happened, give them the history on it so they can, you know, get the story and the history and just like be able to soak it all in. Now the kids at that time would rather have gone on a cruise or some theme park, but now that they're adults, they appreciated the time that their father had taken out for them to do that. Stephen Ambrose has passed on, but his books are really good. So if you're ever interested in some good history books, good reading, the way he just gets those stories out there is just awesome. So this book was only 25 cents today, brand new. I went ahead and paid the 50 cents because it is brand new. So I'm going to enjoy it, and I think it was at 50 cents. That was well spent. All right, so the two kits that I picked up were these ones, and it's apples and berries, very cute, Bucella, and it comes with the Aida floss, which I don't think is DMC, so it's probably just some, you know, cheaper floss. I hate to say that. And needles, but this one was already opened. I just finished opening it, and yes, the needle is missing, but that's okay. What I really got it for was just to get the Aida. So it did come with the pattern and the floss. And I bet the needle's in this one because it's intact. But here's the Aida. So for 50 cents, this is what I was after, was just this here. And then the rest I will redonate, and hopefully somebody will get to enjoy that. So that is that. Okay, so my tutorial, it is on cutting fabric. So back in January when I started to restash my supplies, I went to the thrift store and found this booklet for 25 cents. And the reason why I picked it up is because they have a cute quilt on there. It has a lot of little baby animals. I'm going to flip this over because they have them on here just slightly bigger. So there's a duck and a lamb. This is the one the person had charted out because I saw the math, and they had actually turned it into a birth announcement for someone, a little boy that was born in 1981. This book was from 1979, and it's pretty old, but I'm older than it. That's okay, I'm older than dirt. Not really. Okay, so I want to do that horse, and I decided that I wanted to use some oatmeal Aida. So this is what I have, the 12 by 18. Now this is a lot bigger than what I need because according to the instructions here, now and it's really nice because they give the instructions for Hardanger, Davos 18, Aida 14, and Aida 11. Now I probably would have done the Aida 11 because the image size would have been 7 1/4 by 5 1/2, but they didn't have the Aida the color that I wanted. It didn't matter to me what I'd used, but this was the color that I was going after, and this is what I was able to find it in. So I picked this up at Hobby Lobby, I think for $4, but I don't need the 12 by 18 because my project size should work out to 5 3/4 lengthwise, and height is 4 1/4. So I don't want to waste any Aida because I just don't want to be wasteful. So what I need to do is I need to cut it. Now, the first thing I did was, after I opened it up, I noticed that there's a selvage, and the right thing to do is to not include that in the size when whoever's cutting the fabric in the first place to sell it to you, which they did not. I wanted to make sure that it was 12.5 by 18, so I took my tape and, in fact, did I say 12.5? I'm sorry, 12 by 18. So it is 12. I don't know if you guys can see that. It is 12 to the selvage, and for the most part it came out to 18. A little bit over. I checked out my edges. I made sure that they were pretty even. So even though I don't need this to be perfect, I was just to get into the practice to see, to make sure, because like this end is a little off. Not much, but it's a little off, and I know you guys really can't see that on here, but it was just off by just a smidge. Other than that, doesn't really matter. Okay, so going back to the size that I need, I already marked my fabric up. Measure twice, cut once. And it's a good thing that I did, because I was only going to give 2 inches past my size here. So let's do 4 1/4. Is that correct? Yeah, 4 1/4 would be, am I showing this right? It looks different there. Anyways, here's 4 1/4, and yeah, it looks different on my computer, or on the screen. 5 3/4 is right there. So I want to make sure that I have enough to have some space around it, so when I do put it in a frame, there will be some space around it, because if this is the length of it, I'm not going to want it to butt right up to there. I want it to have some space. So I was going to only give 2 inches, and then thankfully I thought better of it. I marked it with some pencil and then erased it, and of course, you know, the eraser is still on here, which I'm going to, you know, dust off, and remarked it. So I'm going to give myself, for a height, did I do this correctly? 4 1/4, then you would have 5 1/4, 6 1/4, 7 1/4. So I have mine at, mine's almost at, it's a little more than 7 1/4. And then you would go 5 3/4, so 6, 7, 8 3/4, and mine is just a little bit more than that. So I gave myself a little bit more space. So now I can just cut across here. Some people do a basting after. I'm actually pretty good with mine that I don't have too much fraying. I did do some basting on my leprechaun one that I recently did, but I don't know if I'm going to do it with this one, because I want to get it started. I'm so excited. So get some good, I went and I got myself some, I went and got my, I don't know, I'm not an I'm not an English major, and I don't speak very well today. So, using fabric shears, I'm going to cut this out. Now, when I marked it, this looks like it's wonky, but I made sure that I followed the line on here. So what I'm doing is I'm making sure that I used, you know, the exact space. So here we go. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be brave. I don't know why I'm not brave at these kind of things, and I'm sure lots of you are laughing and thinking, oh my goodness, really? Really? Especially some of you who do some wonderful stuff like Hades and all kinds of other stuff. You guys are probably like, sorry, this is like a basic tutorial, but I really should have my glasses on. Yes, I need to wear reading glasses now. Okay, so I've already told you guys I'm a California girl, born and raised. I am not a floss licker. I have a little threader that I like to use. It's vintage. It belonged to my grandmother. It is mine now. It came from Germany, but it's not a big deal. She probably bought it in a store here. What else? I have a daughter and a son. The son is in college. The daughter is in first grade. I do not smoke. I have 3 fish and 2 dogs. I have a fabulous husband. And where we live in California, we are super close to the ocean, the mountains, the desert, and multiple theme parks. So we spend time there with our year-round passes. I don't know what else I could tell you guys. Anyways, I have other hobbies. Another time I'll let you guys know what those are. Give me something to talk about. And so, yeah, that's it. Anyways, this is the end of my tutorial. There's the piece that I cut out. Ta-da! And this one shouldn't take me very long. Oh, and by the way, I finally have every piece that I need to start my gathering honey, and I will be starting that on Friday, so I'm looking forward to that, and I'm hoping I should get this done. So being on camera and doing this, I hope that it helped some of you maybe conquer your fears. I know it helped me conquer mine. I'll make sure to put this on the back side because I did mark it up. And let me see if this will... the eraser is kind of stuck on there. I think if I were to take maybe a... oh, that came off. If I take a, one of those taping things that get all your lint off, a tape roller. Is it tape roller? Lint roller? Lint roller. I'll probably get it all off. Anyways, I know that's going to be my backside anyhow. Okay, you guys, take care, and hopefully the next time I come on here, I will have something stitched on here to share with you guys. All right, bye.